Boys. 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 Part 3. Third story. Or at least what I think is the third story. There's no promises. It might not be the third story. I don't know. But either way, we're going to be playing it. We're going to be doing the weird elf girl with the magical device in her hand. Ally of the Worlds. That's going to be the next one. Let's go, boys. Boys. Boys, it's time. Boys. I'm not quite sure what to make of this style yet. We'll have to wait till we see a character. I messed up again. I did everything wrong as usual. Apparently, there are special people who always make the wrong decisions. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them too. I have a terrible sense of direction. Perhaps I should give up and accept it. No, don't. Just keep trucking along, bro. People tend to make mistakes. The simplest truth bores me, and to be honest, it doesn't help at all. People tend to only sometimes make mistakes, but I do it with inviolable constancy. Why do I wonder, change out of a barbarian suit into trousers and a jacket with a tie? And I've even got bought near. I'm at a Comic-Con, and everyone here is in costumes of elves, dwarves, and other fantasy races. Oh, this is more like hand-drawn. So it's a little bit rougher. A little bit more of like a sketchy vibe to it, and I like it. When I say sketchy, I mean like a sketch of a drawing, not sketchy like it's sus or something. Although it might be sus, we don't know yet. There's a hostess at the stand, a girl in light armor wearing lovely elven ears. A bearded dwarf with an impressive axe on his back is hanging about her, and here I am in a waiter's costume. Yippee, you've come. Help me clear the table. We had a party here to celebrate the end of the convention. The gnome will help you. So the waiter's costume came in handy because I was invited to clean up. The gnome sniffs resentfully and stares at me with hatred, as if I had offended him in some way. Which one's the gnome? I want to see what the gnome looks like. The dwarf and I move along the table, collecting empty plastic plates and empty glasses. The short guy is breathing viciously onto my back. Ugh. Into my back? Oh, that's into my back. Does he have a straw just jabbed through your spine and just breathing through it? And I can almost feel him scratching me with a hateful look. The elf girl's mine, got it. Dare to hit on her and I'll scratch up your face. Buddy, your insecurity is shining through. You're gonna need to calm it. Well, apparently he's able to scratch physically too, although it's pretty strange to hear it from such a belligerent creature. But the malicious whisper scares me a little. He seems pretty serious about the threat. I pretend that I didn't hear him and continue with the cleaning. I dump the plastic cups in the trash, then I notice a full glass and take the straw out of the lid and take a sip. What were they drinking? I don't recognize the taste. After all, alcohol is forbidden here. Look, if alcohol is forbidden, then it is merely a suggestion. It is not an actual forbade. Let me pass you, beanpole. How skinny am I? Or is he just really fat? That's insulting. I'm a very thin person, so it's easy to get past me. Boy, apparently the barbarian's costume was a bad choice too. Couldn't hope to find such mopey barbarians. If I made it to Sparta, even as an adult, I still probably would have been thrown into the pit for defective babies. I bet they would have piled stones on me, so I wouldn't have crawled my way back up. How's it going here? Good job, you two. We did a good job indeed, but you, the owner of the stand, did absolutely nothing. The power of delegation, baby! However, I already realized that's what I'd been called here for, and the shorty... I feel bad talking about him like that, but he started it. Still, I think the elven girl's pretty too. When I was wandering around the con in the afternoon, I stopped dead at her merchandise stand. I was struck by her refined appearance. But if she didn't have those long ears that have taken her for an elf anyways, or some sort of angel. Bro, motherfucker doesn't even work at the stand, and he's over here cleaning for them, working for them, and doing all this kind of BS because she's pretty. Don't be a simp, boys. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is what happens, boys. Don't do it. Back then, I pretended to be interested in the strange unknown stuff on her stand. She told me a secret that one item only looks like an elven artifact, but in fact is a real alien device from another planet. Ooh. Never mind. Maybe he did make the right choice, kind of trying to suck up a little bit, get that fucking artifact, you know? Yoink! Her dad, an archaeologist, brought this strange thing home from an expedition. He's sure of its unearthly origin, and she secretly borrowed it for the convention. Fantasies amused me, but I didn't say anything. Telling tall tales to visitors is a light and pleasant job. It doesn't require belief in any nonsense, it's just part of the overall atmosphere. Although back then I couldn't focus on anything besides her beauty. Soup! And of course, I was very happy when she looked at my skinny figure in an oversized suit and invited me to her booth when the event was over. What a naive buffoon I was. Alright, you know what? He's making the right decisions in retrospect, that's all that matters. Now I'm here cleaning up garbage, drinking some unknown swill and humiliating myself. There's just Dwarf too. Well, call me a cab. Bro. Bro. Holy shit, dude. He fucking football tackled the bitch and carried her ass all the way home. He's like, you don't even need a cab. Come here. I didn't even have time to answer. The dwarf rushes to the elf, pushing me thoroughly aside. The drink splashes out of the cup and lands on the elven artifact / alien device. Then comes a soft chime. The dwarf is taking my elf girl away towards the exit, and I stare at the artifact and try to pinch myself with numb fingers. The liquid is absorbed into the surface of the fake prop, and it starts glowing, and above its surface, something appears right in front of me. That's incredibly loud. Alright, I adjusted the volume. We're good. If I was playing a computer game or watching a movie, I would call it a portal. It's glowing and flickering. It hangs in the air and shimmers. It's real. Hey, are you seeing this? Why, Alex? Instead of an answer, I feel a hard kick in the ass. I drop the glass and step forward to keep my balance, straight into the magical radiance of the portal. No, I didn't see crap. Otherwise the elf would have gasped, and the dwarf would have immediately grabbed it, and I wouldn't have kicked my lower back. The dwarf kicked him, or did someone else kick him? It didn't really specify. I fall into a glowing mirror and fly, but where to? To another galaxy? Another world? To the next world? Hell if I know. All thoughts leave my head and scatter over the infinity of the universe. Hello, miracle world. Here I come. Not like I've been giving any option. Who would have thought that a kick in the ass would save me from madness? Instead of panicking and going crazy, I get angry. Vile, sneaky shorty. I appear to be in the middle of a small tavern and try to catch my breath. I get the weird feeling that the gravity here is slightly different, and I have the urge to jump and fly again. Again? Or fall. The air feels different too. Warmer. Sweeter. Cleaner. Ah! But the euphoria of flight is already fading from my body, and anger takes its place. I look around and finally see him, my abuser. The dwarf is sitting at one of the tables and frowning with displeasure, sipping from something from a mug. My elf girl is sitting next to him. Did you do that? And here I thought the tone of my voice would make him back up. Instead, Shorty glances at me, condescendingly, as if down at me from above, even though he's short and sitting. Is he a real dwarf then? Is that the whole thing that they're trying to get at here? What exactly do you mean? Why did you kick me? I went into this portal and I stop. Okay, wait a minute. What portal? There's no such thing as portals. And how did I get from the Comic-Con building to this one? Decorated like a typical fantasy tavern. The answer is obvious. The answer is obvious. I was drugged. I drank a lot of something from that glass and started hallucinating. I'm probably still standing there now, staring at the carpet like it's a TV showing a weird cartoon about flying through the universe. Somebody simply took me to a coffee shop so I would come to my senses. Oh, true. No, they would just leave you there, bud. Oh, drat. I've never tried drugs in my life, and I wasn't going to, especially not now. Imagine you're just seeing someone curled up on the floor looking at the carpet, just drooling all over themselves. Ugh. Like, you don't bring them to a coffee shop, dude. You just call somebody, or you just leave them there. You do not touch them. So, you didn't use the eye of the gods yourself, but you were kicked into the portal instead? Amusing. Never heard of something like that happening in the legends. What do you think, Pointy? The elf girl gives a contemptuous glance at him, but still speaks. Men. It is indeed a rare phenomena, a joke of the gods. There's no other explanation. According to the legends, the heart of a dream grants adventure only to those who desire to their own free will. Oh, baby. I think the guy was thinking about the wrong kind of adventure there when he was thinking about that elf girl, but hey. I'm judging you pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, just no sugarcoating it. Yeah, like, fuck, gross. Gross. Why does she speak like that? Is she a feminist or something? Feminism. She seems to behave like an ordinary blonde who's used to using her appearance to take advantage of us. There's some weird changes to her character. Wait. Well, are they talking about the artifact? I look around again. There's no portal, but the unknown thing from before is now lying on some kind of altar. It's not shining anymore, which proves my guesses about the bad influence of the drink left over from the party. So the cosplayers decided to prank me, but they didn't think of what to call that weird fake thing, although, all things considered, it's still much better than the threats to scratch my face. Why don't you join us and drink some ale while telling your story, weird-clothed wanderer? Alright. Yes, being a wanderer sounds much more pleasant than being called a beanpole, but his remark about my clothes offends me. Stop getting offended by everything! It's a cool suit. It's the right size. I wore it when I graduated from school, and to clean tables. But I didn't join them. I made up my mind to go out with a bang. I pulled out the boutonniere out of my lapel and handed it to the girl. I'm not sure if I'm saying that word right, but that's fine. Feels smooth and seems quite gallant. Gallant? Feels smooth and seems quite gallant. Ulfrid the dwarf won't scratch me for that, but he's still sitting peacefully watching the bewildered beauty. Is this for me? Why? I want to tell her that it's just a gesture of friendliness, but then decide to pay her a compliment and ask to see her again. Or is that the wrong move? Maybe I should say some sweet nonsense and go off into the sunset. Oh, we got choices for this one, boys. We got choices for this one. Alright, well, she was just talking about how gross men are, so let's just prove her right. What the hell am I thinking? Might as well ask, why won't you marry me, too, then? Just judging by the expression on the elf's pretty face, the decision turns out to be the wrong one. As always, she's twisted with rage and disgust. And then I have to share a bed with you in gratitude for your unheard of generosity. Look, Harry. He has all the manners of an unwashed goblin. No, it's just that I wasn't trying to pressure you. But after all, I've always seen girls leave with someone who will say to her, "You're really something, babe. You have nice tits. Let's go to my place." Bro, what a pickup line. After my compliments, I always cease to be treated like a person. Bro. Stop giving people compliments then. Don't just sit there complimenting them. Go up to them and be like, do what you see works. It won't work for you. Never, don't do that. It takes a certain type of person to be able to just go up and say, "Yo, nice tits, let's bang." And it takes a certain type of person to fall for compliments like that too. So I mean, it's just all losses. Don't do it, boys. Just stay single. The elf lifts her chin, looks at me as if I'm an earthworm, and turns away. Such an idiot. The only thing I can do now is pretend that nothing happened. Nothing. It's probably better for me to go to the hospital right away, pump my stomach, or whatever you're supposed to do at times like these. I need to get rid of these hallucinations. I'd better go. Where to? Out. I point to a wooden door that can only lead outside. Well, why won't you try it then? What do you think, Pointy? Will we let him try? Of course, Harry. Give him a chance. This will make things easier to explain, and we can skip the pointless talks and explanations. More confusing conversation. Did they also take a sip from those cups? Well, whatever. I have to go out and get my stomach pumped. I'm not an enemy to my health, and so I go. I open the door and immediately close my eyes. There's an intensely bright light outside, as if xenon had been directed right into my eyes. But I take a step forward anyways. The light, which even made its way through my eyelids, immediately goes out. I open one eye and look around. Then I open the second one, and I'm in the tavern again. Only now, I'm standing with my back to the door facing the hall. The dwarf and the elf are grinning. I step back, my back into the door, then I find myself back in the tavern, and this time facing the door. The hell did I drink? It doesn't wear off. I even try to jump through the door. I fly back to the hall at the same speed as if I was just outside. Of course, it's no use. No retreat, no surrender. Okay, I can do it. While I still have strength. Or at least until the moment my trip ends. I wonder how people see me now. Well, judging by the giggle of the elf girl, I look ridiculous enough. Okay then, let's try a somersault. Bro, imagine just doing a backflip through the fucking door or some shit. I have nothing to lose. It didn't work. What about crawling? Didn't work either. Then let's take a running start from the other side of the hall. Nope, it's useless. Probably ran into the door. Alright, I'll try to go even faster and faster. I kept running through the whole tavern and immediately going back, then turned around and tried again. In the end, the laughter of the elf is joined by the laughter of the dwarf. Shorty couldn't hold it in anymore, apparently. Oh my god, he's making himself look like a dumbass. This keeps going until I become so worn out that my stumbling legs falter and I bump into the door jamb. This time, I'm thrown back, not because of some weird interdimensional bullshit, but from my encounter with the door frame. Oh, my guy. Oh no. Only then do I decide to take a break, get up, brushing off my jacket, approach the table where the dwarf and the elf are having a great time. Aren't you a stubborn one? I think I hear respect mixed with mockery in the girl's words. I can't quite pick up which one is stronger, but I still can feel flattered. Have you had enough? Well now, sit down and take a break. Take a sip of ale. Hey, Oinky, bring us some ale. It's time for introductions. Why is there a robot? I think this tavern is a little less medieval than we bargained for. Oinky, I look around, expecting to see a man with a pig's snout. After today, I wouldn't even be surprised. Instead, the one who approaches the table is a robot? Okay. Things just keep getting stranger and stranger. Oh, that explains the oink. Oh, it really is oinking. I don't think it's the drink's fault anymore. If so, the trip would probably be over by now. But instead, the degree of my delirium keeps getting higher. The dwarf, the elf, the looping tavern, and now there's a cyborg waiter. Oinky. Just great. I went cuckoo. Why am I not worried? Not panicking? Then I remember stories of passengers who, during a plane crash, calmly watched through the window as the engine burned and then slowly walked to the exit of the falling plane. In real life, women do not scream when they see a gun or a man lying on the ground. These are all ridiculous ideas invented by screenwriters. A passenger in a falling plane wants to make a joke, and a woman wants to help the person lying on the ground. For some reason, I'm not in the mood for jokes, probably because I'm tired. By the way, maybe that's why I'm calm too. Too much running and bumping. I want to sit, relax, and drink something. Yeah, that sounds about par for the course, honestly. Like, I think he already had his freak out when he was going through the door. And then, like, he burnt out all of his energy by trying to sprint and run through the door and trying to, like, somersault through the fucking thing. And now he's calm and he's thinking about it and he's fine. Take a mug, have a drink, alright? That's it. We'll sit, get acquainted. My name is Gis. And my name is Ruama, which means wandering dream. There's a great deal of irony in that. Don't be surprised, you'll understand soon. I'm Alex. Nice to meet you, Gis. Tell me, why do you wince when you drink beer? I don't like it very much, to be honest. And why are you drinking it? 'Cause I'm a dwarf. All dwarves drink ale. True? Yeah, that makes sense. They have beards and axes. Well, yes, everything is according to the canon. Did I go crazy, or did I really get... Yeah, did I go crazy, or did I really go into another world? Or are those things not mutually exclusive? In any case, I've nowhere to go from here. Where are we? What is this place? How do we get here? How do we get out of here? Slow down a little. Let's take things one at a time. Where are we? We are in the pub. I almost choke on my beer. No shit, Sherlock. Thanks. Thanks a lot. That explains everything. And here I've been wondering all this time whether this is a pub or not. How can you give such obvious answers with such a serious look on your face? I put down my mug so that I won't accidentally choke if I hear something like that again, and I look to Ruama with hope. She takes pity on me and decides to give me a fuller reply. This is the in-between world, a place where dreams come true and destinies change. The crossroads of the world. Is there really a crossroads? For me, this is some kind of alley of worlds, not a crossroads. I would even say a dead end, a gateway, or a backyard. Alley of worlds, yes. Perhaps this name suits it better. The second question. How did we get here? Someone kicked you right into the portal. Thanks, Captain Obvious. I remembered that. Didn't hit the door jam that hard. Rama? We used a mighty ancient artifact, the Heart of a Dream. Not the heart of a dream, but the eye of the gods. Don't start again, Shaggy. Love how she has like different demeaning nicknames for this guy. What difference does it make if it's called something different in our worlds? It doesn't really matter. Thank you, Oinky. So this weird device exists in all worlds, including mine. Oinky too, as it seems, has its opinion on the matter, but that means those two. So, are you from different worlds? You're a real elf, and this one's a real dwarf? Obviously. How can I not be real? Well, it's actually easier for me to believe that you're just a figment of my imagination or simply a cosplayer. Sorry. A what? Never mind. In general, a girl from my fantasies. Was it my imagination, or did she blush? At the same time, I noticed her frown, as if she can't decide what to do, get angry or take it as a compliment. The third question, how do I get out of here? Now that's a good one, but guess we'll give a better answer. We have no idea. So that's that. All three of us lower our eyes and sigh sadly. Even the robot grunts sadly behind the bar. Oink. There are no instructions, no ideas either. Well, everything is quite simple, and at the same time incredibly difficult. We have to make some decisions that will change our fate. Only, we don't know what decisions exactly. This is a pub, or table. There are tables here, and so we sit at them. And then there's beer, so we drink it. Simple man, simple solutions for simple problems, boys. How it's done. That's how it's done. Yep. What kind of decisions can be made here? The dwarf suddenly perks up. Well, we can stop drinking beer, but we've already tried it. It doesn't work. And he gets sad again. We too join him in lowering our eyes, sighing and grunting. Seems like I'm stuck here for a while. Turns out I'm in another world after all. It's still unclear whether that's good or bad. Astronauts, in order to get to other planets, train for their whole lives to be the best of the best. And I just spilled some soda and got kicked in the ass. A magical kick in the ass. And I'm not the best of the best. I'm still a geek that always makes the wrong decisions, and whose life is full of absurdity and troubles. That's one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Although, what's there to mankind? There are no other humans in here anyways. Did you say something? I was just thinking about the fact that I got here kind of by accident. You wanted to fulfill some of your dreams, change your fate, and I, like for example, what did you want from the Heart of Dreams? Oh, I have a very simple dream, but we don't usually even think about it. I wanted to be treated as an equal despite the fact that I am a woman. I guess that's technically happening. This is not some sort of flaw after all. Our worlds don't differ that much after all. Here we have a pointy-eared feminist activist for women's rights. I bet she would like our world. I wish I could invite her to visit it. But then I remembered what a stupid thing I had said when we met, and I didn't even dare think about the topic. I feel like there was meant to be some sort of irony in the statement that she just said, but it's a little lost on me. I'm not quite sure. She said something stupid when they first met that made her feel dumb for her belief? Was it because she belittled him for being a man? Probably. That's all I can think of, at least. I think she just felt silly because she, like, said he was dumb because he was a guy. and realized how, like, hypocritical that was or something. I don't know. I don't know, dude. What about you, Gis? What's your story? It's a very sad story. I have no talent. For dwarves, blacksmithing or mining is everything. But I can't become a master. Something is missing in me. In order not to disgrace my family, I had to venture into the unknown. It probably has something to do with him not liking beer. Why is it so agitated all of a sudden? Does it want to say something? It should stick to handling the beer. I don't think it's very important. Wow. Wow. In my world, it's possible to use your skills with an axe to make a living, as opposed to using a pickaxe or a blacksmith's hammer. But not everything is so lucky to find the eye of the gods, or unlucky as I see it. Let's ask the more analytical question. And if there's no valor in it, isn't that just kind of thievery? The dwarf suddenly jumps and reaches for his axe. How dare you, human! You dare insult my valiant ancestors who earned countless treasures in bloody battles? I'm gonna... Stop! I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just thinking it over. Okay, I understand. Taking something away from someone in battle is good. You'll definitely become a hero. I think that's just called being a bandit, actually. The dwarf snuffles for a few moments, deciding wherever I mocked his heroic campaign or not. But I put on a serious face that makes him calm down. Judging by his prickly look, he still holds a grudge against me. I think I made the wrong decision there. For some reason, it seems that the robot wants to say what a fool, and it would be absolutely right. Me and my big mouth. How did I make such a stupid mistake? Is it my destiny, or do I simply need to think before saying something? It's a shame, but it seems that the second option is the correct one. The robot rolls up to the table and silently replaces the empty mugs with full ones. Well, the only thing that's left is to ask Oinky how he got here. And how would we do that? It's not like he can talk. Golems don't usually talk at all. That one oinks at least. Besides, why do you think he came here from somewhere else and that he hasn't been here this whole time? Well, we'll ask him then. Oinky, are you ready to talk? Oink once if yes, twice if no. Great, let's have a chat. The dwarf and the elf look at me as if I'm doing some unique kind of magic only I can do. And there's something special in it. They could figure it out too. I see you're not a golem, but rather a robot. Probably from the future, some technologically advanced world, right? Your speech module is faulty, and you could speak before? So, have you been retired, thrown into the junkyard? Aw, poor Oinky. Oinky's blushing though. He's giving me the uwu senpai face. Well, don't feel bad about it. You're here with us now. Did you find the portal thing in the junkyard too? I see. Do you have a dream too then? Is that yes or a big no? Slow down, please. Does that mean yes? Yes. Suddenly I get the feeling that I'm not too interrogated. Suddenly, I get the feeling that I'm not interrogating the robot, but making up his story myself. However, so far he has confirmed all my guesses. What's there to guess? A faulty robot in a tavern? Where else would he have come from? Yeah, I'll try to guess. You're a robot, and did you make that bow tie yourself? Apparently you feel uneasy when you're not being helpful. So you found a job here. Good boy. Oink. Well, then it means you ran away from the junkyard because you wanted to continue to help people. Is that your dream? Oink. He never once answered in the negative. I guess I'm very smart when it concerns others, not myself. Well, we found out who has what dreams. The part that remains is to fulfill them to get out of here. Any ideas? There are none. Even Oinky sadly rolls back to the bar. Generating ideas is probably still human responsibility. Or one of dwarves or elves, but they've been here for some time now and I don't see too much progress from them. Oh, if only we could make a sacrifice and return home. Even without glory and treasure, I'm sick of all of this, and I can't beat her in a fight. She fights as well as a man. Better than a man? Technically, if he can't win against her, and he's a man, she does fight better than a man. I can't argue with that one. Right, and I can only imagine how she trained for the sake of fighting for her rights. Wait, why is the dwarf staring at me like that? Stop! Did you decide to sacrifice me? Heck, I need to get out of here. Then it dawned on me that I've just been goofing around all of this time. What sacrifices? What destinies? It's just a spilled drink on this unknown device of the gods. I can leave it any second. Look at the elf girl and I suddenly feel pity for her. I wish I could help her. On the other hand, I could be stabbed at any moment and my blood might be spilled for the artifact. After all, they are being serious. They wanted to leave this place a long time ago. They simply don't know that any liquid will do. Not only sacrificial blood. Or is that right? Was it some special drink back then? Yeah, right. Vampire cosplayers have been drinking donor blood. It seems this one's got quite a few decisions, so... I need to go to the bathroom. So now I'll take a mug and pretend that I'm going for the bathroom and then approach the artifact, spilling some beer on it. I'll let them wonder what idiot goes to the bathroom with a mug of beer in his hand. As I'm about to tilt the mug over the device, I notice Oinky staring at me. The metal face of the robot can't express emotions, but for some reason I think that if it could, it would be very sad. It worked. Stepping into the portal, I do not look back. I don't want to see the faces of the dwarf and especially the elf. I'm afraid that they're the way I imagine them now. We're back. Literally just had to pour beer on the fucking thing. Why wouldn't you tell them that you could just pour beer on it and just have them all get out? What? Bro, that ain't it, man. You're leaving the homies behind. They shared a beer with you. The hall was empty, just like my soul. You're gonna need to step back from that edge, bro. You might fall. You might fall! The mug is still in my hand, but when I spill the rest of the beer on the alien device, nothing happens. Then I realize with longing and regret that I have made another mistake. Ending 1. Cowardly end. Okay, so we're gonna go to the very end, and instead of going to the bathroom, I'm gonna try to convince them instead this time. I'm a bad sacrifice. Don't sacrifice me. I seem to know something that you're not aware of. You, Gis, are just blind to reality. You keep mumbling about your stupid sacrificial rituals, like waving your axe so much. You like waving your axe so much, but what about using your head? I don't have time to finish. The enraged dwarf snatches the axe I mentioned, and I run away. Running past the artifact, I look back to see the axe flying right at my head. Looks like the dwarf will go home today after all. Oh, so both of those decisions ended up getting me a bad ending. Well, one was a bad ending because I died, and the other one I just escaped and left all the homies behind. We're gonna go back to this save here, and we're going to, instead of calling him a thief, we're just going to ask him which one's more fun. What a good thought. Another would ask, for example, which vocation produces more valor or glory. I would have to answer that everything depends on the results. The person who has created or obtained something more valuable gets more honor. I didn't think of it that way. Yes, it's more fun to obtain something during adventure rather than get bogged down in a routine trying to achieve results. You raised my spirits, human. It would be nice if this adventure ends with a triumphant success. Otherwise, I'm already sick of this beer. Alright, it looks like this part is going to be about the same. So I'm just going to skip ahead, and if there's a difference, I will continue from there. Alright, so picking the other, there was no difference in the dialogue leading up to this point, but we're going to see if this yields a different result now that the dwarf isn't pissed at me. Because the dwarf was a little bit happier with my other chat option, so let's find out. I seem to know something that you're not aware of. Did you come up with something? It's good we have you here. Yeah, it's already different. Okay. It's just a guess. We need to check if it'll work. It's something at least. Spill the beans. Shaggy, don't interrupt him. No one will leave you alone, Oinky. Don't worry. In the worst case scenario, there would be new visitors here. If anyone else interrupts him, I will sacrifice you all, and the issue will be resolved. I guess in the beginning I must have made the right decision with the elf, because she's not wanting to murder me. Everyone stops talking and stares at me with hope in their eyes. I didn't make any sacrifices to get here, and I'm sure that Oinky didn't do anything of the sort either. Am I right? I spilled a drink on the artifact. Oinky probably did the same with some kind of electrolyte or engine oil. That's enough, Alex. Stop, we get it. The sacrifice is just a means to an end. The main thing is the liquid, am I right? I hope so. Let's go and check, shall we? Together we rush to where the alien artifact is lying. The device from the future is known as the Eye of the Gods and the Heart of a Dream. But how can you change your fate? Make an important decision. Learn your destiny? I don't know. Honestly. Maybe all of this is unnecessary. Or maybe we make a decision when we pour our blood, water, or beer onto the artifact. I might be wrong about all this, and then we will come back, but we won't get what we want. Our dreams will not come true. No, I don't want that. Let's think again. Yes, Alex, please, think it through. You seem to be doing a good job. Change our destinies. Help us make the right decisions. But I can't. I've been making the wrong decisions all my life. Then stop doing so. Don't make any more mistakes. Simple solutions for simple problems, boys. This guy gets it. The dwarf is so not in character. It's impossible for me to do it. Then make it possible. What useful advice. Okay, I'll try. Oinky. This is the place where you decided to become a waiter and made yourself a bow tie. What about data on some other areas? Geology, for example. Mining, rare minerals, alloys. Yes. Will you be satisfied with such an assistant instead of treasure? Who, though he does not speak, can show you how to get alloys that your people may not have even ever dreamed of? Will you ask? But of course. I would be carrying him in my arms if I were able to lift him. It's much better than some treasure. I would become the most respected dwarf lady in my family. That's a lady? Everyone would love to marry me. What? The elf and I exchange glances hastily and pick up our slack jaws. Wait, the dwarf is a girl? I did not see that one. Alrighty then. Wait, that means the elf doesn't fight better than a man. She fights better than another woman. Well, everything's coming crashing down. All of our belief systems. No. No. The elf and I exchange glances and hastily pick up our slack jaws. Although, yes, I heard about dwarven women having beards too, just not as lush as men's. But you kept quiet about it. We're on the same side and you didn't even say. Which side? Yes, I am a woman. I'm gonna keep doing the same voice though. But I'm fine with everything else. I just want a little bit of success and fame. It doesn't depend on gender in any way, in my opinion. Rama thinks a little bit about it and calms down, and I, to my shame, keep staring at the bearded woman, trying to see if she has any sexual characteristics under her armor. Does she have boobies? Bro, did that dwarf lady got big old schloukers? I don't think so. Wait, maybe she does, under the armor. Just like, booba. What about you? What's your dream? I glance at the big-eared beauty, but quickly lower my gaze. I suddenly feel sad. After all, if I'd dreamed of anything, it'd be about learning to make the right decisions. So far, I'm not sure if I had succeeded in any way. It wasn't a dream that brought me here, but a magical kick in the ass. Don't forget. The attempt to laugh it off fails. No one smiles. I decide to try again. For some reason, I don't like to see their faces be sad. To me, they somehow seem more like friends whom I've known for many years. I'll tell you a funny story from my world. A peasant died and met God in heaven. He asked what the meaning of life was, and God answered him. Do you remember on that day, that one year, well, let's say you went into a tavern, had lunch on the same table as a tall, mustachioed man, and he asked you to pass the salt. Well, that's it. You don't smile again. I guess I'm not good at telling jokes. I didn't understand that joke. This even looks at me somehow accusingly, as if I'm guilty of something. Everybody has their own purpose in life. For some, it's really quite insignificant, but someone also has to pass the salt. Except, you're not one of them. You're making a mistake thinking so badly of yourself. Makes me a little uncomfortable that someone thinks better of me than I do. One of us is wrong, and I can't figure out who it is. What about me? What is my purpose? What should I change? I don't know. I'm an ordinary person. How can I decide something for others if I'm constantly making mistakes myself? You're repeating yourself, Alex. Why don't you give it a shot? Just tell me your opinion. It won't hurt. You start thinking, what a clingy girl. It doesn't matter if what I say is just my opinion. And I don't know what to say. Who is she anyways? A girl from a strange world and an elf too, which is with a strange elvish name. Drama. You said your name means wandering dream. Maybe you just need to stop wandering, find a home, start a family, friends, loved ones. Stop being such a bitch. Just like straight up. Maybe, just maybe. What you have to do is stop being such a bitch. I stopped myself. No, I'm saying something wrong. The wrong words. But I really don't know the answers to her questions. But I think I am a prophet. Yes, Sonicky, you're right. It's time to do something. And I spill the rest of my beer onto the unknown device. A few moments pass and nothing happens. But then the drops get soaked onto the smooth surface and they turn into a glow. A glow that spreads and forms the portal. It worked. It's time for me to get back to my world. I want to say something else, but there's nothing to say. I have already said and done everything I could. The portal is open. All visitors to the tavern, Lane of Worlds, are waiting for their turn to return home, and I'm blocking their way. I clear the way. I step into the portal, falling into the void between worlds and head to my home world, leaving my new friends. Only then, I realize I didn't even say goodbye. Ending 3. Not the best. Okay, so then I guess we have to go back all the way to the start and make all the correct decisions. Because he gave the dwarf good advice, because the dwarf liked his answer. So maybe if she likes my initial answer, he'll give her the correct advice in the end too, and we'll get a real ending. I don't know how many endings there are in this, but the last time we picked the first one, this time we'll pick the second one. I'm doing this for the flower. What does it mean? I don't quite understand. It seemed much more pleasant for it to be in your hands than to wither ingloriously in my lapel. Now its life will find a new meaning. I'm spouting some serious bullshit, although she seems to like it. The girl smiles and touches the flower with her pretty nose. I sigh with relief. At least someone didn't take me for an imbecile because of what I said. Bro, he's smooth. Bro, he was smooth there. My boy Alex, bro. It's probably better for me to go to the hospital right away. Pump my stomach, whatever you're supposed to do at times like these. I need to get rid of these hallucinations. Alright, so same deal as before. I will stop if there is a difference in the story, but until then, I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead. Like, for example, what did you want from the heart of the dream? Oh, I have a very simple dream, but we don't usually even think about it. I want her to be treated as an equal despite the fact that I'm a woman. It's not some sort of flaw after all. Our worlds don't differ that much after all. Here we have pointy-eared feminists, activists for women's rights. I bet she would like our world. I wish I could invite her to visit it. Back in my world, we treated women equally. Women fought a lot for their rights. Now it's just considered bad to point out that you can't do something you shouldn't, or... Now it's just considered bad to point out that you can't do something or shouldn't do something just because you're a woman. Whammin'. Because whammin'! Or treat yourself lesser because you're whammin'. Yes, of course, it often goes to extremes. The presence of intelligence does not depend on gender in any way, but I decide not to voice that thought. I notice her elven eyes have started glowing. You can definitely like it there. In our world, the fight against any discrimination is very active. And whose side are you on in this fight? Me? I hadn't thought about it. Probably on the side of common sense. I'm very sensitive to women's regards of any struggle. It's a pity. They often don't appreciate it. Just say whatever you have to. Say what you have to, man. Well, it's time to close this topic. Otherwise, I'll say too much and ruin everything. I'm a master at that. Whatever. Yeah. Alright, this man's smart, actually. If you make the correct decisions for him, he's pretty smart. Alright, we've come full circle to the end. We made both the correct decisions this time. So we're gonna say that we're a bad sacrifice. What about me? What is my purpose? What should I change? I don't know. I'm an ordinary person. How can I decide something for others if I'm constantly making mistakes myself? You're repeating yourself, Alex. Why won't you give it a shot? Just tell me your opinion. It won't hurt. I start thinking, what a clingy girl. It doesn't matter what I say, it's just my opinion, and I don't know what to say. Who is she anyways? A girl from a strange world, and an elf too, with a strange, elvish name. Rama, you said your name means wandering dream. Maybe you should stop wandering, find a home, start a family, friends, loved ones. I stop myself. No, I'm saying something wrong, the wrong words, but I really don't know the answers to her questions. What do they think I am, a prophet? Yes, Linky, you're right. It's time to do something. I spill the rest of my beer on the unknown device. A few moments pass and nothing happens, but then the drops get soaked into the smooth surface and turn into a glow. A glow that spreads to form a portal. It worked. I remember how I told the elf girl that she would like it here, how her eyes lit up when she heard about how we treat Womans. And I make up my mind. My man's taking her with. Rama, would you like to visit my world? I would show it to you. You can take you to the cinema, introduce you to my fellow cosplayers. They even speak Elvish. Even if you don't like it, I know where to get this portal thing. Even if you don't like it, now I know where to get this portal thing. And then we can go to your place instead. Bro, what a smooth talker, man. Look at the robot, man. The robot's like, oh shit, she's getting spicy as fuck here, boys. The elf girl says nothing. Either she can't make up her mind, or she just can't find a way to tell me that she's not interested in it. Oinky and I look at each other, then Giss and I. Then I take a step towards the portal and freeze. No, I'm doing something wrong again, or I'm close to it. Perhaps the greatest mistake of my life. I take a deep breath and... oh, gods. Go on already! A powerful kick from the dwarf boot sends me flying right into the center of the portal. Flying through different worlds, I realize that I'm angry at the dwarf again, only now the other one. It's possible that back in my world the dwarf was cosplayed by a girl too. I could guess by the threat of getting my face scratched. Huh. Oh yeah, huh. Interesting. But when I look back, all the anger is gone because Roma was flying right next to me, my sweet big-eared elf girl. She was obviously going to catch up with me. It seems that my dream has come true after all. Did I for once not screw up? Did I not make a mistake? Did everything go right? Seems like that's the case. I smile. Ending 4. Good end. Okay, I think that's all the endings for that. I tried it with a couple of other option like combinations, and none of it really seemed to change anything else. So I think that good end was just the last ending. So I like the novels where you get to make a lot of decisions and have multiple endings. Those ones are the ones I prefer personally, so I think that has to be my favorite one so far. Albeit, even with all the decisions, that one was actually even shorter than the other two. So, I don't know, man. Like, he stopped being an absolute simp, and he ended up making correct decisions for himself, and it ended up working out better for him that way. So all I can say is, like, guys, just don't do free labor for a girl just because you think she's pretty. That's gross. Even, you know what? Even better yet, let's take it a step further, guys. None of this would have happened. He wouldn't have gotten stuck in a weird portal. He wouldn't have almost gotten killed. Actually, did get killed a couple of times. He wouldn't have had to run through a door. None of this would have happened if he would have just done one simple thing. He would have just stayed a virgin, boys, and stayed single too, you know. You gotta do the whole package. You can't just do one or the other. You gotta do everything. Alright, see you next time, boys.